music you hear is off the new Radiohead album, which I just completely love. Thought I'd throw a few seconds of it on there. Got a Blitz game I want to show you. I haven't been playing much the last couple of weeks. I've been working a ton, trying to catch up on some sleep, and finally over my cold. Yeah, I've only played 5 or 6 games in the last week and a half or so. I hopped on this morning. I've been up all night. It's about 7:30, and found a Blitz game against this guy. He's a few hundred points higher than me, but my Blitz rating is really low compared to my normal rating. I'm usually rated about 1,500 or so. I don't do well in Blitz. Anyways, I had the black pieces here. My opponent plays e4, and I play my card con, which is just completely standard for me. I play this every time. I've seen a lot of this knight f3 against the card con. People, the normal move is d4 here instead of knight f3, but a lot of people are expecting, in Blitz anyways, they're expecting e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, Roy Lopez or Italian game or things like that. So he's probably grabbing this knight before I even move my c-pawn. So a lot of people are playing this in Blitz. I'll try not to cough as much into the mic as I have been my last few videos. We exchange in the middle. He plays d4. All of this is standard. I bring my knight out, and he likes this knight pin. Now here, I want to defend this pawn with e6, but I can't right away. I don't want to lock this c8 bishop in, and I really like removing this knight off the board, which puts an attack on this pawn. I do this usually, bishop out to g4, and he pushes his pawn. I've mentioned this before. I love seeing this move. It lets me just trade pieces here. And then I can play e6 to defend. You've seen this position in my games before. You'll see it many times from here forward. This is how I like to play. Now here, bishop takes. We're in edit mode here. Let's do this. This isn't too bad for black. It's not great. He's got a castle, and my king is so far from castling. By the time I untangle, he should have some attack going. White's a little bit better here if he plays that exchange. Not by a ton. He's still probably got a half a move. Here I'm getting messages from my buddy. Anyways, where are we at? Queen takes e6. He plays knight d2. He wants to keep this c3 square open for a pawn push there on c4 eventually, apparently. That's what he's thinking. So here I'm getting interrupted. Okay, so I played a6, hoping that he'd bounce his bishop back. I thought maybe he would, and I was right. He pulled bishop back to bishop to d3. Now this hangs the pawn here on d4. Better in the situation would have been for him to just go ahead and trade, but he apparently didn't really want to, which to me doesn't make sense to pin this knight if you're not willing to trade it later for this bishop. I mean, there's times when you don't. If you play the Roy Lopez with a6 and back b4 and then back to b3. There's a good reason to have the bishop on that diagonal, pointing at the f7 square. Here in this situation, taking just makes too much sense, and he didn't do it. So I win this pawn. You can see his pieces look kind of clumsy here. These aren't natural squares for these pieces. None of these three are where they're supposed to be, and his bishop's blocked in. Black's definitely better here. I've got the pawn. Now I'll have to take time to extract my knight, and he can hopefully get developing and stuff. But black is definitely better here. Now my opponent makes, I think it's a mistake here. He plays queen to e3, and I play bishop to c5, protecting my knight and opening up some tactics that in a Blitz game, this is a 3-minute Blitz game. You can see the time here. He's moving quickly. I'm slowing down just slow enough to see the tactics before I hang pieces. This is why I'm so bad at Blitz. It's because I usually move fast and hang pieces or hang pawns. So I've decided not to do that anymore and let myself be in time pressure later to make sure I'm making good moves early. Now you can see here my threat is knight takes c2 check, forking king, rook, and bishop. The only way to save it all is to take bishop takes knight on c2, and then his queen hangs my bishop. So I'm hoping he doesn't see that. Correct here would be for him to play queen to e5, keeping the threat alive on this knight, and also keep ruining the tactics there. Now if I play bishop, he can just take, and there's nothing for me to do. But he didn't. He played b4, trying to attack this bishop, thinking if I move it, he can win the piece. Now, I always do have moves like bishop to a2 or bishop to b3, or bishop to a7. It's late and I'm tired. Bishop to a7 or bishop to b6. But this is just bad. This just loses the queen here. Knight takes c2 check. Pretty much the only move here. And bishop takes queen. And f takes e3. And now he's down a lot. He's lost his queen, picked up a minor piece for it. What I should have done here, I should have just gone ahead and attacked. Put my bishop, or I'm sorry. I should have played my queen out here, attacking this pawn. Attacking this pawn. And just keeping the attacks going. But I didn't. I played knight f6. He castles. I played slow still. I castle. I'm up a lot of material now, and for some reason I felt like playing slow, even though, man, I'm down 20 seconds, 25 seconds here in a Blitz game. This is a bad move. It's not terrible. I mean, in a regular chess game, it's not bad, but I'm trying to restrict the movement of his knight here, just so he doesn't have any good squares. So there you go. He plays rook d1. I play rook out. Still, queen to b6 is looking fine. I should be playing it. Any time in here, I can be playing it. This was a waste of a move here. I didn't know what to do. I got kind of flushed. I started thinking about his bishop having discovered attack with his pawn move down here later, and I didn't know what to do next. I wanted to move on this open file here, but his bishops are defending it really well. So I wasted a move. Better would have been queen out here, something like that. Knight e5. Now finally I move my queen, and he defends his knight. I play rook to c7. I'm looking to double up my rooks here. But there's not a whole lot for them to do on that file yet. And he goes ahead and moves his knight back. I'm not sure what he was thinking here, if he has a plan next or what. I double my rooks, and which just loses the exchange here, but it kind of simplifies. That wasn't a great move. Now here I made a strong queen penetration move here, putting up my queen on a g3 and attacking this piece. I'm looking at moves like knight to e4 soon and checking his queen. I don't have huge threats now, but I'm starting to untangle my pieces and starting to penetrate his position a little bit. He defends the pawn, bring my knight out, and now I was looking at a strong check here. So he brings his knight back to defend that square. So I just bring my rook up here and attack the knight, and now he can't maintain a defense on that square. So he comes out here. Now I don't have huge attacks yet, other than that this pawn is hanging. So I go ahead and check him first, check him, and then take the pawn. And I like having my pieces all tighter in here against him. My king is safe. There's nothing he can do to attack it, and he'd have to get a rook over, get his bishop on this file without the queen, without hanging his bishop. It's not going to work. So we trade, and now his knight, you see here, his knight is stuck. It's under attack. Anywhere he goes here, he's going to lose his knight. So he might as well take a pawn for it. So he grabs a pawn. And here my opponent attacks my knight, but walks into a nice little mate in two. Queen check here. And knight up to f2, checkmate. So I just want to show you another Blitz to get another video going for you. It was a fun game to play, in particular because of my tactics here, winning the pawn, and then this move here, winning the queen. So I thought you might enjoy it, and I'm going to go to sleep now. Go have fun and play chess, and I'll look forward to putting another video up for you soon.